The knock came at 0:47 station time. 3 sharp raps that echoed through the cramped corridors of Outpost Kepler 186F. Marcus Chen stood in the doorway of his workshop, grease-stained coveralls hanging loose on his thin frame, a 7-month-old baby wailing against his shoulder. The infant's cries had become the soundtrack of his existence since Sarah died in the mining accident 3 months ago. He hadn't expected visitors. Nobody came to the human quarter anymore, not since the consortium had reclassified Earth as a peripheral member state, a polite term for irrelevant. The woman standing in his doorway wasn't human. She stood nearly 7 feet tall, her scaled skin shimmering like polished obsidian under the flickering corridor lights. Crimson patterns traced along her neck and forearms, pulsing faintly with what Marcus recognized as draconian bioelectric signatures. Her eyes, vertical slitted and amber, fixed on him with an intensity that made him step back instinctively. "I seek employment," she said, her voice a low rumble that carried harmonics human vocal cords couldn't produce. "I am told the human mechanic needs help." Marcus bounced his daughter Maya gently, trying to process the absurdity. A draconian, one of the consortium's elite warrior caste, asking him for work. I can't afford me," he began. "I require no payment," she interrupted. "Shelter and sustenance sufficient. I am Kethera Zix. You may call me Keth." Maya's cries intensified, her tiny fists bunching Marcus's shirt. He saw Keth's nostril slits flare, her head tilting with predatory precision. "The infant is distressed." "Hunger or pain?" Keth asked. "Neither, just, she misses her mother." "We both do." The words came out rougher than intended. "Look, I don't know what game this is, but no game." Keth's tail, thick as Marcus's thigh, swayed behind her. "I am Keth Shara, clanless, dishonored. I watched your species at the Centauri negotiations. Your ambassador faced the consortium council alone, outnumbered 50-1, and refused to surrender Earth's sovereignty. She failed, but she never begged. Never submitted." Keth's clawed hand clenched. My clutchmates laughed, called humans soft, breakable. I called them cowards who had forgotten what pride meant. For this, I am exiled. Marcus stared at her, this walking engine of destruction who could probably tear him apart without effort, claiming to be impressed by human stubbornness. Maya's cries softened to whimpers. Marcus made a decision that was probably stupid, definitely desperate, and entirely human. "Okay. But if you're staying, you're helping with everything. That includes the baby." By week 2, Marcus admitted that hiring Keth was the best decision he'd made since the tragedy. She learned with frightening speed. Her clawed fingers, designed to rend armor plating, adjusted microscopic components with surgeon-like precision. The repairs that had been drowning Marcus in backlog began clearing. Ships that had been grounded for months lifted off, repaired, and improved. But it was the nights that surprised him most. He'd wake to silence. Blessed. Impossible silence, and find Keth in the nursery, Maya cradled against her scaled chest. The draconian would hum, a subsonic frequency that Marcus felt in his bones. Maya would sleep peacefully, one tiny hand gripping Keth's talon like a lifeline. "My species hatches from eggs," Keth explained once, her amber eyes distant. "We do not bond as you do. Watching you with your offspring, I wonder if we lost something precious when we chose strength over connection." Marcus didn't know what to say to that, so he made coffee, real earth coffee, his last pouch, and they worked through the night in comfortable silence. The trouble came when a consortium enforcement squad arrived. 3 draconian warriors in ceremonial armor investigating reports of a Keth Shara hiding in human territory. Marcus stood between them and his workshop, baby Maya strapped to his chest. Behind him he heard Keth's growl, felt the temperature rise as her bioelectric systems charged for combat. "She's my employee," Marcus said, voice steady despite his hammering heart. "You want her, you go through me." The lead warrior scales a deep emerald, laughed, a sound like grinding stones. "Human, step aside. This is draconian business. We will take the dishonored one and—" "No." Maya stirred against his chest and Marcus gently patted her back. "See, here's the thing about humans. We're stubborn. It's literally what we're known for. And I'm not letting you take someone who's become family." "Family?" The warrior's confusion was genuine. "Yeah. Family. We lost that concept once too, back when we were climbing out of caves and deciding whether to work together or kill each other for resources. We chose connection over domination. Made us weak in some ways, but it also made us human. He glanced back at Keth, who stood frozen, her amber eyes wide. She's learned to care for my daughter. She's kept this business running when I was drowning. She's earned her place here. And if you want her, you'll have to explain to the consortium why you slaughtered a human civilian on a registered outpost. The warriors exchanged glances. Humans were supposedly irrelevant, but bureaucracy was universal, and the paperwork for killing a registered citizen would be legendary. This is not finished, the Emerald Warrior hissed, but they retreated. That night, Keth sat in the workshop, her massive frame seeming somehow smaller. You risked yourself. For me? Marcus shrugged, adjusting Maya's bottle. You did the same for us. That's what family does. I do not understand your species, Keth admitted. You are small, fragile. The consortium should have crushed you, yet you persist. Defy. Care in ways that make no strategic sense. Maybe that's our secret weapon, Marcus said, smiling as Maya's tiny hand wrapped around his finger. We're too stupid to know when we're beaten and too stubborn to stop caring. Keth's rumbling laugh shook the workshop. Then I am honored to be adopted by such foolish creatures. Outside, the station hummed with life. Somewhere, the consortium debated humanity's fate, but in a small workshop on Outpost Kepler 186F, a widowed mechanic, a dragon woman, and a baby who knew nothing of politics or power structures built something the universe had forgotten. They built family, and that, perhaps, was the most human thing of all.